one of the worst things about merchandise is that when it rains, everybody runs into the store and just crowds around. They sit on fixtures, they sit on the ground, they sit in front of the door, and you're like, I can't do anything that I need to do because everybody's sitting around the damn store like they've never gotten wet before. That was the most frustrating thing. I've literally walked through amusement parks in the pouring rain. I literally ran through walked through Universal in the pouring rain. Like, water, it's a thing. Did you guys know? It comes down from the sky. It's kind of like a shower, but you're just not in your home. It's weird. I never would have guessed. But they're just super dramatic and hard to deal with rain scenarios because people want ponchos, people want umbrellas. There was one time I literally sold so many ponchos. I did not even sell like any of our actual merchandise that we sold in the store. Like, we just sold ponchos. Like, I just kept turning around and freaking flying out ponchos at people. It was so frustrating. People think Disney has like a bubble over them and that like, well, we can change the weather. It's outside. Like, it's gonna rain, it's gonna be super hot, you're gonna get sunburned, you're gonna get soaked. Like, we can't do anything about it, especially like regular cast members. Like, we're not guest relations. Like, we can't like refund your tickets or like give you tickets to come back another day. Like, that's guest relations. And then I told a guest, like, you have to go to guest relations for that, and they got very upset that they had to walk through the rain for that. And I was like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, I can't change that it's raining. I wish I could, but I can't. So kindly get away from me. But another interesting thing about my location is that we had an outside cart called Casey's Cart. Wow, okay. I kept wanting to say Casey Jr. Casey's Cart. Anyways, so Casey's Cart was right next to the train station for Fantasyland. Right next to, like, literally right next to the little splash station and right across from the Barnstormer. My camera is being super fussy with me right now. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where I left off. I might have left off in the middle of a sentence, who knows, but I am going on to a different topic. Now I'm going to be talking about making friends, which I kind of touched on tiny bit when I was talking about my role. I felt like, for me, I definitely pushed myself more as, like, I'm pretty introverted as a person. I don't really like put myself out there. I don't really talk. Like, I'm not the one that usually goes up to people and talks to them. But I realized that's not how life is going to be. Like, not everybody is gonna come talk to me if I want to talk to them. So when I realized I didn't really have that many friends at work, I was like, I have to push myself to be the one to make conversation. And it honestly was one of the best decisions I've ever made for my life. Like, I will forever be thankful for the DCP, because if I hadn't done the DCP, I would still be so incredibly shy. Well, I'm still shy, but I would be so incredibly, like, held back, and like, I feel like it definitely pushed me to do things I would never do. Like, I would never go up to someone randomly and be like, hey, like, what's that book you're reading? Like, let a girl know. Like, I would never do that. But now I feel more comfortable doing that because I did the DCP. Be grateful. And I made my best friends I've ever made in my entire life. Like, I cannot believe I have to be without my friends, like, every single day. Like, I'm like, it's like so annoying that I don't have my best friends with me all the time like it was when we were there. And Malin, Shy, and Aaron all left in May, and then Amber left me in June. So, like, most of my friends were gone for the last month of my program. 2 months, month to 2 months. So I felt pretty miserable, and obviously I had other friends, but it kind of sucks when the people you're closest with aren't there to like experience like all these things with you, and when you're down, like you don't have anyone to talk to in the break room. But that's when you make new friends. And honestly, everyone wants to make friends. Like, I don't think anyone is gonna shut you out. Like, I never experienced that I can remember. And even if things don't work out, there's always new people to talk to. Always new things to experience. Okay, so this is my next topic, which I think I might make a longer, more detailed video about this, but it's about doing a DCP with anxiety, which honestly you can do it, but it really does suck sometimes. Like, just like sometimes it was just really hard for me to get out of bed and like be able to force myself to be in the kind of environment where I'm constantly surrounded by people, when all I wanted to do was curl up in a ball and like cry, and I wanted nothing more than to just like, I'm tearing up with I just wanted nothing more to just like be alone. And like, I hated like the fact that I felt that way, but I couldn't, like, you can't help that, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing you can do about feeling that way. And it's like so hard when you go into work and like everyone's like, you have to do this for guests, you have to, I'm like, ugh. But I don't want to do anything. I just need to be by myself in my room under my blankets, like watching dumb YouTube videos until I fall asleep, and hopefully I'll feel better for the morning. And sometimes that feeling would go on for weeks. Sometimes I wouldn't feel that at all for like months, and it just was like a back and forth of like constantly feeling like I never wanted to ever get out of bed, and like being like, oh, today's a great day, I'm gonna have fun. But it was just really difficult for me personally. I thought to be honest, I did think about like self-terming a few times because I didn't think I could do it. But like, if I didn't have like May, my roommate, or Sarah Ellen, my other roommate, or like any of my friends, like I would have definitely like self-termed. Like, they like your friends make or break your program. Like, your role makes or breaks your program. Like, I had so many panic attacks like the whole time, and I knew that was gonna happen because this was such a big jump for me. Like, I'm from Connecticut. I moved all the way down to Florida for 8 months, not even knowing anyone, to work at Disney World, one of the busiest places in the entire world, where I knew there was going to be a lot of people, and I hate being around a lot of people. But I did it because I needed to push myself to do something I've never done before and that I never would do. And I'm proud of myself, but it was definitely really difficult because I just had a lot of panic attacks at work too. I had a lot of panic attacks at work, in the freezer, backstage. It was great. Not really, but I'm just trying to make this feel light and not really heavy. I don't know what else to say. If anyone would like a video all about how I dealt with my panic attacks and everything while I was at Disney, let me know in the comments and I will. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about some regrets and some of my favorite memories, and then after that I'm gonna talk about my life after the DCP. So one of the things I regret the most is never picking up a shift at another location. I regret that so much. I was really nervous about that because I was like, I don't know where to go, like I don't know what to do, and I just didn't want to pick up anywhere. I was like, I know how to get to my location. I know how to take the bus from Chatham to my, like, to Magic Kingdom. Like, the thought of like having to figure out how to do that like with any other location made me nervous. Ooh, excuse me. So I just didn't do it, and I really regret that. Like, I really wish I just got over it and did it, but I didn't. So if I do another DCP, I would like to try and do that. Another thing I regret is that towards the end of my program, I feel like I didn't go to the parks as often. And if I did, I usually just went to Magic Kingdom because it was the easiest, or after work I would go to the park. I think because especially at the end of my program, I had a lot of anxiety and I was just not feeling myself. By the end of my, like, the last few weeks, the last month, like all of July, I really was just ready to go home, but I wasn't just gonna self-term because I was already so far into my program. But I really regret that. I really wish I just like pushed myself to get up and go to the parks, like, and I just didn't, and I really regret that. Like, I could have made so many more memories if I had done that. Favorite memories is me and my roommate Sarah Ellen. We both usually worked really late. It would be after like 1 a.m. I would okay. I don't know what my voice just said. I would just be home really late, and she worked at World of Disney and she would also be home really late, and sometimes we would sit on the living room floor for too long and just be laughing, and it was one of the greatest things I've ever, like, she's great. I will never forget those moments. Like, it's moments like that, like, you will never, like, forget with your DCP, like lying on the floor laughing at 3 a.m. trying to not wake up the rest of your roommates. Like, that's what made my program for me, like those little moments. I made my friend Amber watch the Cheetah Girls for the first time. That was great. One time, me, Angela, Trisha, and Nikki were sitting in the break room. I forgot what the joke was. I don't remember. But everyone was laughing so hard that they were crying. It was great. Going to Universal was my fave. I loved Universal so much. I think a little bit more than Disney. I think it was just because I was like over the Disney. I don't know. That makes no sense. I wasn't over Disney. I just liked that Universal had Marvel, and I'm obsessed with Marvel, so there's that. But now that I'm back home, I just want to do more things with my life instead of sitting around all day doing nothing, which is what I do right now. But again, don't have any money, so can't really do much except for go to the library, which is what I usually do once a week, almost every Wednesday. That's how I've been spending my life post DCP. That's how life is, guys. After the DCP, you turn into an old grandma. You have a routine every Wednesday. You go to the library. If anyone has any other questions, put them in the comments. I'm saying this as if anyone's gonna watch this video. No one's gonna watch this except for my mom and Sarah Ellen, and like maybe other people if I force them to. Leave video requests in the comments, although I have a bunch in my head. That is all. Still don't have an outro. It's been how many months? Yeah, girl, still don't have an outro. So I'm gonna just say goodbye. Wow, that was original. That was so original. Great job. I did a great job with that one. How badly I need you now. I need you now. I need you now. This is talking about. Wow, this is talking about. Okay. Woo! That was a bug. There's a bug. Get away. I don't know where it went. That's right there. Gotcha, bitch.